I filmed a first impression / review video on this Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. I filmed that about a week ago, and then my memory card decided to corrupt or whatever happened, and I lost 2 videos on that card. And so one of the videos was the first half of my first impression for this foundation. So I'm like, oh, lost my footage, I don't know what to do, it's not like I can redo a first impression. So I figured I would just do the review portion of it, and I would just kind of film what I missed out on that first half. And I also realized that I do have the end portion of it. So after I was wearing foundation for however many hours, and I kind of gave my feedback on it and what I thought about the foundation. So I thought maybe I would just redo this first portion and add that last portion in and mesh them together. So yeah, we're just gonna get started. It is a glass bottle. I bought mine from Sephora NZ, and I had to guess my shade. Well, I got the shade 58 Honey Deep. You guys wanna see? I thought that I had gotten a shade too dark, but when I was wearing this, I've worn this twice already. When I was wearing this, then I noticed that it does match me quite well. It does look darker, but for some reason once it's done and everything's on, it just works. So I think it's quite a good shade. Also, I do have sensitive skin, and I wore this just yesterday, and I think it might be breaking me out because my skin was pretty decent, and then now I've got like a bit more blemishes happening, especially this one. I don't remember this one yesterday. So that sucks. It does come in like different undertones, like it tells you if it's like yellow or golden or whatever, which is really handy. I really like the look of the packaging, but once you pop it open, it has one of these types of applicators. It's got a long stick with a ball at the end of it, and I guess you just create dots onto your face with it. I don't mind it, but I feel like it is quite messy because like it gunks up around the edge of the lid, so if that kind of thing bothers you, then bear this in mind. Let's do some shade comparisons before I start putting it on. I usually do it along my jaw because like that's where the darkest skin is, so we will do Marc Jacobs here. It looks kind of peachy orange. Next we've got MAC NC40, so I'm just going to do the shades that I'm in of these foundations. I thought that went without saying. I don't wear this foundation because it breaks me out, but so as you can tell, it's quite a bit lighter. But for some reason I found that even if the shades are a bit different with some foundations, as long as the undertone's the same, I can usually get away with it. Next I'm going to do Nars Sheer Glow, and I'm in the shade Syracuse. Nars Sheer Glow is one of my faves, so this one matches me really well. The Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation in medium. This one's more of a sheer foundation, and I've also filmed a first impression review on this one that's already live on my channel if you guys want to check that out. And lastly, Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation Concealer in, I think I have the shade Sand Beige. This is more of the lighter one, but it still works. So these are the shade comparisons. So from the back we have the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation in Honey Deep 58. Then we have MAC Studio Fix in NC40, Nars Sheer Glow in Syracuse, Becca Aqua Luminous Foundation in medium, and then we have Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation and Concealer in Sand Beige. So I feel like when I do shade comparisons, it is really helpful for people to tell like what their foundation looks compared to the one that I am doing a first impression review on, so that's why I do them. I usually use a primer, and I'm going to use the Porefessional. The reason why I'm using Porefessional is because it doesn't actually change the finish of the foundation or any foundation. It's just gonna smooth over like my blemishes, because I have a lot of lumpy bumpy blemishes today. Thank you so much. How I would usually do my foundation demos is on one side I would use my beauty blender to put the product on, and one side I would use a brush just to see how they work. It says to do 2 to 4 dots, but I found that it didn't really, I needed a bit more, so I'm just gonna apply more. Oh, and that's on my hair. Zed, just washed my hair yesterday. You know what? I could easily fix this. This one's my own fault. I should be using this. What I also want to say about this foundation is that it blends in really well, and I love the finish of it. It sets really well, and it seems like you don't even need a powder. And maybe you could get away with not wearing a powder, but I always put a powder because, especially if I'm going to be wearing a foundation for quite a while. Maybe it is like half a shade darker than what I usually would get. but you can easily just fix it by doing a lighter concealer underneath your eyes. Now that I'm looking at it, it does look a little bit darker than my neck. So now I'm going to use a brush, which this is the Juice Up brush. Has no brush name because they're cheap brushes, but they work. Ooh, whoops, I had a lot of foundation on there. Okay, I look quite ghostly, but don't worry, it gets fixed. So I've got my foundation on. As you can tell, it's given me quite a flawless base. I'm just going to set it with some powder. I'm going to use my Face of Australia translucent loose setting powder so it doesn't change the colour of it. So we'll be back in a sec. To you guys it's a sec, but for me it's like an hour because it takes forever to put my makeup on. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, obviously. It is about 6:07 p.m. and I've been wearing this foundation for, I think it's been like almost 5 hours, but I'm ready to take it off because I just want to just chill. Honestly, my thoughts on this foundation is I am super impressed with it, and it's kind of like the feeling when you spend quite a bit of money on like a high-end foundation and it just kind of blows the expectations out of the water. Feeling like that about it because I love the shade. I love the shade Honey Deep 58. I mean, I thought I'd be Honey Light 52, but now looking at myself, I feel like this one is like a really good match for me. So love the shade, love the undertone of it. Even though it says it's peach, it seems to work with my undertones quite well, even though I'm more yellow based. I'm amazed at how it sets and the finish of it, because when I put it on and I went away for about an hour to go do my makeup, like I literally did not have to put anything on. Like I powdered my face, but I was kind of wondering why I'm powdering my face because it seems to have set really nicely. And yeah, I love the glass bottle, I love the lid. Not really sure about why they would put this on there, but regardless, because it gets kind of messy, it gets kind of gloopy. But honestly, I don't even really care. Like the product itself is so amazing. You don't end up using a lot of product because you're just dotting it over your face, as opposed to, ooh, but then I mean it does kind of slop over the side, as you can tell. A little goes a long way, and it is really good coverage. I feel like this is high coverage. I mean, I don't really know how much higher it can get. So far, loving this. I'm super amazed, and yeah. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up and let me know down below if you want me to do more first impression reviews. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys! Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 oh gosh, I got foundation on my table and my phone. Yes, winning, Sid. So, this applicator is a bit messy. Because maybe I'm messy. I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup. Why can't I speak today? Why? Why? I don't know. Those swatches though. I always have swatches on my hands.